Board members, we're going to do a roll call. Madam Chairperson Dana Gamblin,
Present.
Mr. Gundelsberger, Janice Warner,
Here.
Sharon Johnson,
Here.
Walt Matthews,
Present.
Don Sherrod, Margaret Bauer C. Okay. Now we're going to do the swearing in because this is an adjudication hearing that is based on facts and not public opinion. Therefore, everyone that is going to testify must be sworn in. Raise your right hand. If you wish to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You are sworn in.
Okay, first order of business is to approve the minutes from December 29th. So everybody got a copy of the minutes. What is your pleasure?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No opposed? Okay. And then we have, I guess it's technically old business.
Yes. Case number 2021-06 case is being recalled for a status update from Chief Building Inspector Scott Tom regarding Charles Kreisner was granted an extension of time or until March 20 of 23 to make repairs to the property located at 520 East Jefferson Street, Sandusky, Ohio, parcel number 5600555.000 at the Housing Appeals Board meeting held on September 27, 2022, and October 25th, 2022.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Tom, you want to go ahead and speak?
Sure.
If you're comfortable there, I'm comfortable with you there. You don't have to-
February 10th, on February 10th,
Okay,
2023, I went over to the property, and the front porch had been rebuilt, and the post going up to the roof that's supported over the porch has been supported with new posts. This new stairway had been installed, and they were starting the railing system on it, on the interior, and a new roof had already been installed. So all those things were done. So they are making progress. Is it as quick as we'd probably like? Probably not, but progress is being made.
okay. Did you give them any more time or another time limit when we would reach?
I didn't discuss anything with the owners or anything like that on it, so
Okay,
it was a quick in and out, and actually, the contractor said he was gonna leave the door open, and I went there and he wasn't there, so I just observed what was obvious,
okay.
so.
I have a question.
Yes.
What else has to be done yet to finish up?
I was gonna have to do something on the exterior to keep, where they put windows in and stuff like that, to tie all that in. I mentioned, if you re-sided the place, it would probably go a long way.
So he hasn't recited yet?
Not yet, but he has put a new roof on it.
Okay. When is his deadline? Is it in March? Okay, so at our next meeting's the deadline then for him.
I believe so.
Okay.
That's what's on your agenda.
Yeah, March 28th.
Okay. Is he going to be here at that next meeting then?
He was sent a letter and notified that he and his contractor would need to appear on the 28th of March.
On the 28th?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you think he's going to be finished by then?
Typically, you would sub out like siding, get a contractor that specializes in that, and if he's got somebody lined up, it could happen pretty quick.
So it's just the siding that's left?
Well, that's one of the, he is making progress on the interior as well. Like I said, there's nothing up and operational
Okay.
as far as,
So how can we sign off if you haven't been inside?
yeah, it's inside of it.
He was inside, he just gave a list of what's being done, but we will hear more from Mr. Krasner and his contractor on March 28th. So I guess we'll have a better idea
Okay.
of where he's going and how things are. But of according to Mr. Tom, he is progressing. Maybe not as quickly as we wanted, but it's happening.
Okay. Well, we'll know more in
Yeah.
March then.
Yep. Okay, do we need to vote on anything for this, or we're fine? Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Tom. Okay, now we're into new business.
We have case number 2022-1864. David E. Garrett is appealing the third administrative penalty of 1509 Camp Street, Sandusky, Ohio, parcel number 58-01110.000.
Okay,
Good evening. I'm Ron Snyder, Code Compliance Inspector. The packets that you're looking at, or the pictures that I just gave to you, is the more recent ones than would have been added, so that they can be compared to the previous photos. This matter, as was mentioned, I don't know if I turn this on. It was brought to our attention back in September of 2022, September 22nd to be correct. A number of issues with the interior to include, but not limited to, lack of heat, ceiling, wall issues, electrical, et cetera. That fact, I took the city's plumbing inspector as well as the city's electrical inspector with me to this address. I know I've doubled up these photos as far as the PowerPoint goes, but there'll be independent photos within your packet. All right. And you probably can't see the photos of the PowerPoint, but these pillars that are on the front side of the house, it's just got paint that's chipping off, things of that nature. If you look at the front porch, you can tell that would be the photo to the left there. That would, again, be in your packet. Above the front door, there is an exterior light in that ceiling that's got a degree of charring around it from where there had been a short in that and never replaced. The garage on the right picture there, there's windows missing out of it. There's peeling paint on the garage. Again, just garage door missing, broken windows, front storm door is missing a screen or plexiglass. There's a better photo as far as PowerPoint of the short that would have occurred in that light, which was again outlined in the electrical inspector's letter that was also sent when I sent my letter. This was in a bedroom just to the inside of the residence where there was ceiling tile missing as well as wallboard. And there was an area there where the smoke detector had been and was no longer there. Staining in the dining area to indicate that there was some sort of a leak. There was no bathroom to the upper level of that residence to indicate, so that leak had to have come from some issue concerning the roof. Again, you could see to the far side of the picture on the PowerPoint there, there's some shading on that ceiling tile to indicate there was some sort of water damage has occurred there. This is a picture of the furnace that the gas had been disconnected to. Right? And that's how it was sitting on the day of the inspection. There was a number of areas within the residence also. They were missing outlet panels. And there is a copy of the electrical inspector's letter. There was some issues with the cover was missing breaker panels. Again, there's a copy of the electrical inspector's letter within your packet. Notice and order violations was drawn up and sent to the address that we had according to the auditor's website. I ended up getting the return mail back on both of those items of mail, indicating to me that the property owner never received any type of correspondence for this. There was kind of a question on why that is, having a little bit of background in regards to addresses within the city. The auditor's website shows the taxpayer address, and I'll allude to this here further in the PowerPoint, that it shows an address at 1214 Ransom Road, which there's no such address within Erie County. I had also sent notification violations to the statutory agent. Never got a response back. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but there is a Ransom Street.
There is a Ransom Street, and there
That
is a
road.
Ransom Road. Ransom Road starts out off of, I want to say,
Hayes.
Bogert Road and goes south from Bogert Road. Those numbers would all be in the 5,000-6,000 numerics.
So you don't think there's a mistake there? It could have been.
And
Ransom
there
Street.
would have been, but I didn't have anywhere to send the correspondence because both the taxpayer and the homeowner address was showing 1214 Ransom Road. So, again, this is a copy of, that would be in your packet, showing that the taxpayer's address and the owner's address was showing 1214, again, Ransom Road, versus 1214 Ransom Street. I had done a check as well as the auditor's website for 1214 Ransom Street. It does not come back to the gentleman in question, Mr. Garrett. So again, we was kind of in limbo of, okay, we're going to have to try to find a contact number for the statutory agent and see what was going on here with this.
I have a quick question. So,
Yes.
I'm seeing where it says the keys to the city.
This is the name of the company that he has, yes.
Okay, and then it also has underneath here, is that saying Legal Corp Solutions or?
Yes, ma'am. They would be the statutory agent. Due to the fact that the Keys of the City is an LLC, they register with the Secretary of State's office for a contact person in regards to that property away from that LLC, and that other address is that statutory agent, so.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how about rental registration? He has to, this is a rental, correct?
It is.
Okay, so he had to register. Is he registered with the city?
He is.
Okay, is he
Same address.
registered under Ransom Road?
Yes.
That's weird.
Did we send anything to that Cincinnati address?
I'm sorry, to the.
We sent something to that Legal Corp in Cincinnati, Ohio?
Yes, and all I got back from them was the mail showing that they had signed for the certified mail.
Okay.
They never had made any type of contact, which is often when we have a statutory agent, they'll receive the mail, they'll take the mail, but we never get phone calls from them.
Okay.
So, on September 23rd, 2022, I made contact with Mr. Garrett via public service. He was made aware of the infractions, and then he needed to address the issues, the furnace, smoke detectors, CO detectors, and the electric ASAP, and he advised that he understood. Right? On the 29th, I made contact with the complainant, who is the resident. They'd indicated no attempt by the owner to address any of the issues. Then on October 12th of 2022, Mr. Garrett, he was stopped down to the code compliance office, and we do believe it was coming in to address the issue with rental registrations. I was made aware that he was in the lobby just outside the window, and I went out and I had contact with him. He confirmed that he had never received any kind of correspondence, right? I had conversation with him concerning the difference, like the mailing address, at which time he confirmed to me that it was actually 1214 Ransom Street rather than 1214 Ransom Road. So as indicated there on the PowerPoint, I said, listen, you're downtown, why don't you walk across the street to the auditor's office and have this changed? That way we can guarantee that correspondence continues from this point on. As you can, well, you'll see here in the PowerPoint, that was never done.
Okay.
So, October 26th, first reinspection was scheduled. Basically, he had done nothing to address any of the issues. Administrative penalty was put in place for $100 on December 1st, 2022. A second reinspection date had been scheduled, and again, he had done nothing to abate, fix, or to rectify any of the issues. And subsequently, a $500 administrative fee was administered. So then a date of January 3rd, 2023 would have been set for the third reinspection. Prior to the third reinspection, he had not done anything to fix these issues, nor had he paid either one of these previous administrative penalties. On the 3rd of January, 2023, went out, did a look. Now these, because of the fact that this is the third administrative penalty, I added some photos here. You can see there's no plexiglass and or screen in that screen door. The windows in the garage are still out, the flaking paint on the garage. The pillars, you'll still see the charring there above the, on the ceiling of the porch. The stains are still current. The furnace is still in the condition it was. We don't have covers on our outlets. He was subsequently pushed through to a third administrative penalty for $1,000, and again, mail sent to 1214 Ransom Street. When I started sending the actual correspondence for the previous 2 administrative penalties to 1214 Ransom, right, I was not getting that mail back.
Okay.
So he was getting that mail. Mail sent. Here, even he put on his own appeals form, 1214 Ransom Street. But as of 1/17 of 2023, he hadn't went to the auditor's office and changed the taxpayer address, which is who we send correspondence to when it comes to housing violations, not necessarily the owner. It goes to the taxpayer. So, and what I found out just prior to coming into the Housing Appeals Board is that he apparently had addressed an issue with the auditor, but the only thing that he had changed was the owner address. The owner address now shows 1214 Ransom Street, however, the taxpayer address still shows 1214 Ransom Road. So, and then there are a series of photos that I gave to you guys. It shows that these photos will be almost identical to the photos that were in the packet, showing that there was nothing done and that these problems, at least exteriorly, still exist. He has since evicted the tenants from this property. They are no longer there, so I did not have access into the interior to take any further photos, so.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
So the furnace is not working, the hot water heater is not working.
Hot water heater was working.
It said it had a leak or something.
It did. I found out later that was not the case. The gas had been shut off to the furnace. However, there was still gas going to the hot water heater. Okay, the furnace was malfunctional, so they had cut that gas off. They were using a secondary form of heat, which he knew that was not appropriate, and that was in the initial letter, that any kind of electrical heating elements was not, it's not a source of heat, a primary heat source. And yet he needed to address that, even from the onset of the phone conversation and in the conversation here in the lobby. He knew that furnace needed to be fixed. And we were talking, I want to say that this is going to be back.
Is the water and sewer on, the water on in that house?
There was an issue about 2 months ago or a month and a half ago to where the water was turned off. I had worked out a 24-hour notification to where I was going to have to condemn the residents at that point because of sanitary functions. The young lady that was staying there turned around and scraped together some money and came down and paid it on her own. She had small children. She was more concerned with her children and a place to live, and he apparently was not real concerned about that. So.
But the bill's coming to the landlord now. I think the city made an adjustment there where it goes to the
But
landlord.
what we find is a lot of times the landlords, yes, the water bill is in the landlord's name, right? And it will come to the actual address of the address in question, and the landlords will have the tenants pay that bill. And we find that very often.
Just to keep the water on? Okay.
Are we, just, I'm sorry, I thought you were done. I'm
No,
sorry.
I still have a couple more questions.
They do, just to answer your question, Chen, it's one of those things to where they can't determine how many people are necessarily going to stay there, so they can't determine an actual water bill to add that to the rent, so they have the tenants just go ahead and pay that. So.
Okay, so he was behind in his water bill, or is that what you're saying?
Right, either that or he just failed to pay it, knowing it might be one option. A lot of the landlords are getting to the point where they understand that if they don't pay that bill, right? We're going to be coming there and putting a condemnation on it because of sanitary concerns. It's almost as if they use that to facilitate getting that resident out of there.
Okay, is his taxes up to date?
Yeah,
Did you
and
check that?
As far as what it's showing here, yes.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so are we here just to appeal the third?
Yeah, we just.
So that's all we need to do?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I would like to do. Do you need a motion?
Yes.
That we deny the appeal? Because I want him to pay.
If we uphold the appeal, then he's gonna be charged that $1,000.
That's my motion.
Okay. It's been,
No,
If you deny the appeal.
that's what I thought.
If you
You have to
deny the
deny
appeal, then you're upholding the third penalty. If you grant the appeal, then he won't have to
Yeah,
pay the.
I want to deny the
we won't
appeal.
deny the appeal.
Yeah, and all that other stuff, y'all can,
Moved and second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Call,
Dana Gamblin,
yes.
Janice Warner,
Yes.
Walt Matthews.
Yes.
Sharon,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sharon Johnson.
Okay, so it's been moved second and we all are in agreement. Okay, I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Is there any-
second.
Moved and second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Adjournment, okay.